Hey everyone! Alright, welcome to week 39. One more week until my due date, I can't believe it. And actually, I'm surprised that I'm even making this 39-week update. Because those of you that watched last week's update, I was, thinking that maybe I was going to go before I was able to make this update. So, I was wrong. I am still pregnant. I'll get into everything that's been happening this week in just a minute. And there has been some things happening this week, which is pretty exciting. But yeah, still definitely pregnant. He's still definitely in my belly. Baby size this week. This week he is starting off the size of a watermelon, which is just insane that he is that big. And you know what? He feels that big. And by the end of the week he's going to be the size of a jackfruit. But I'm just more preoccupied with the fact that he's the size of a watermelon right now, and I have to squeeze that out of my hoo-ha. I mean, that's something. Okay, so as far as my symptoms are concerned for this week, everything is just sort of increasing. My pelvic pain has gotten really, really intense. Really intense. I'm not even gonna, I can't sugarcoat it. It just hurts. It really hurts. It feels like my pelvis is going to just like rip open at some points, especially at night after I've been lying down. If I'm on my birthing ball or the exercise ball that I now have for too long and then I get up, that really, really hurts. It's just all in all out uncomfortable, and there's no way for me to sort of sugarcoat that. Yeah, at all. If I sneeze or if I cough and I'm not bracing myself, it really kills. And like I said, it just feels kind of like my pelvis is going to just rip open right in the front, right, at the very, very bottom of my belly is where it hurts the most. And yeah, it's just, it's uncomfortable. So that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. What other symptoms? I'm more hormonal, definitely. This week I catch myself sort of snapping at Jason a little bit more this week than I have been in previous weeks. I think I've been pretty good in my third trimester as far as being overly hormonal, but I think it's just catching up to me. I feel like the firiness that was in the first trimester may be coming back a little bit, and yeah, I feel a bit more hormonal lately. Excuse me, and because of that, I'm feeling like definite increase in anxiety this week about everything that you can think of under the sun. Not just necessarily things to do with labor and delivery or the fact that I'm about to have a baby, although those things are giving me anxiety, but little things like driving and going out in public. I have a lot of anxiety about different random things that didn't bother me before. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, and I suck it up because I don't want to like become a slave or whatever to those anxieties, so I push through them, and everything's, I still go out and I still drive, and although I'm driving a little bit less because sometimes I'll have a Braxton Hicks or whatever while I'm in the middle of driving, and then that's kind of distracting to be driving and having a contraction. So I am driving a little bit less because of that, but not because of the anxiety. I'm trying to push through it because I'm trying to understand that it is just hormonal and, yeah, in any event. But I am definitely more anxious about just everything in general. And another thing is I'm really genuinely afraid of labor, and I really hate that because everyone's experience of labor and birth is so different, and what someone else might find to be like a horrendous experience and it was they did not have a good time with it, someone else might, just think it was the best experience of their life, it wasn't that painful. And so everyone is so different, so I'm really trying to keep that in mind when I do start to get afraid about what's coming. That, you know, I could be fine and it might not hurt me as much as others, you know. I'm really trying to keep that in mind, but it's really hard to. And the other day I, you know, made the mistake of watching some labor and delivery videos, and there was one lady that, you know, the baby was coming out and she was screaming bloody murder, and I'm just like, oh my god. And Jason's just like, what are you doing? Stop that right now. You're not helping yourself by just freaking yourself out, which he's right. But yeah, please tell me, I'd love to hear in the comments below how afraid you were before you gave birth for the first time, and what your actual experience was compared to how worried you were. Because I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm nervous to like even like start labor-inducing things. Like, we have been doing things to try to like naturally induce labor, but I'm afraid when I'm doing them because I know that he's gonna come out eventually anyways, regardless, but I don't know, it's still, I'm freaked out. I'd love some reassuring comments down below, please. That would be great, because I really am genuinely nervous. That's it as far as like emotional. One kind of physical thing that happened, the other night I was lying in bed and it was about 3:30 in the morning and I was dead asleep, and I woke up because down below I felt a very distinct pop. It wasn't a noise, it was just a feeling, like a popping sensation. And I was like, oh my goodness, my water just broke. I was convinced that my water had just broken. But I got up, I like jumped out of bed, which is a feat in itself. Jumped out of bed and like ran to the bathroom and nothing came out. And I'm just like, okay, well maybe it's not gonna just gush, maybe it's just gonna trickle. So I like stayed in the bathroom for a little while just in case, because I didn't want to get back in bed just in case it came out while I was in the bed. And nothing came out, so I'm like, okay, so went back to sleep, woke up, nothing still, and nothing has come out since that happened. That was a couple nights ago now. I have no idea what the popping sensation was. I mentioned it on my Facebook, and some of you suggested that maybe it might have been a ligament or something to that extent, you know, popping or whatever. But I swear, I was convinced that it was my water, but nonetheless, my water is still intact as far as I'm aware, unless it is trickling out at like a snail's pace and I'm just unaware of it, but I don't think so. But yeah, that is it for symptoms for this week. Something else that happened this week is I saw my high-risk doctor, and I've been getting a lot of comments. Some of you, I guess, missed the videos where I talked about why I'm seeing a high-risk doctor. And in short, basically, I'm seeing a high-risk doctor because when I had my maternal serum screening, my AFP levels came back high, and there was an increased risk that Ewan was going to be born with spina bifida, born early, stillborn, you know, a small birth weight, a lot of different things, a lot of complications. So the doctor that I see, she's actually just like a family doctor who delivers babies. So she referred me to the local sort of specialist, just to be on the safe side, to kind of monitor me just in case, because if there was ever a complication, she wouldn't be able to deliver Ewan. She's only able to deliver if there's no complications at all. But she wanted this other doctor to be aware of me and my situation just in case something happened and he had to like step in and deliver. So I've been seeing him just sort of periodically in my third trimester just to make sure that Ewan is doing well. And he thinks that Ewan is fine. He thinks that that test, you know, was... He has his opinions about the test, and I have my opinions about the test, but nonetheless, that's not for this video. But yes, he's been checking in, and so I had an appointment with him just on Monday. And so at this appointment, something that was really exciting, I was actually monitored. I was hooked up to like the monitor to monitor contractions and to monitor the baby. Which is the first time I've had to do that, because when I go to see my doctor, it's not at a hospital, and it's just, you know, yeah, she doesn't monitor me like that. So I was really excited about it, and sure enough, I had a couple contractions while I was on the monitor. One of them was pretty small. I felt it, but it, it was just a little tiny little bump on the chart. But then actually I had a really big one, and it kind of went up really far, and I felt that one pretty good. So that was pretty exciting to be monitored like that. But yeah, he did an ultrasound to see how Ewan was growing, because one of the things with this test coming back with high level, you have an increased risk of the baby being, not growing properly. And he said to me, and this is a quote from him, he's like, "I don't want to scare you, but this is a well-fed baby." And I'm like, "Oh, really? Like how, like 8 pounds when he's born?" And he's just like, 8+. So I guess this is going to be a big boy. Not that 8 pounds is really all that big, to be honest. Like when you're getting into the 9, 10, 11 pounds, and that's a big baby. But I was thinking this whole time that, Ewan would probably be 7, mid 7 something, 7.5. Because Jason and I were both, I was 7'2", and Jason I think was 7'11". Or 7'13", so we figured a 7-pound baby, but no, I guess he's going to be over 8 pounds as far as they can tell. But that's good. I mean, that's a healthy baby, that's a healthy size, and I'm happy for that. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's it. Oh, and I don't have to see him anymore, which is really great. The only reason that I would have to see him is if something, a complication happened, but we don't foresee that happening, which is really great. Or if I go overdue, because if I have to be induced, my doctor, my just regular doctor, won't be able to do that. It would have to be scheduled through him. So we're hoping that I don't go overdue. I really want my doctor to be able to deliver Ewan. She's been with me the whole time, and I would like her to, so hope that I don't go overdue and I don't need to be induced. But yeah, so that's what the high-risk doctor said. Another appointment that I had this week was I had an appointment with my regular doctor, and it was just kind of in and out appointment. It wasn't that eventful, but she did check me, and if you remember the previous week I was checked, and while my cervix was still long, it was starting to dilate. She said I was a forced 1 centimeter, meaning that she could force her finger to make it a centimeter, but it wasn't quite a centimeter on its own. But my cervix was still long. But it was a bit softer than it was the last time she had checked. So I was like, great, thinking when I went in for this appointment that I'd probably, see a little bit more progress, and I was excited for her to check me. So she did check, and no change whatsoever. Cervix is still long, still only a forced 1 centimeter. Yeah, and the same softness, no change there. So it looks like this little boy is going to be in there for a little bit longer, as far as I can tell. I mean, I understand that I could probably go into labor tomorrow, or it could be a while. It's really hard to say. But yeah, no change as far from the previous week, so that kind of sucks. But it's okay. It's okay. Everything else was good. I'm measuring good. His heart rate was good. Oh, my weight, I might as well get that out of there. I keep forgetting to take my weight, but I was weighed at my doctor's appointment, and my first appointment with the doctor I was 123, and at this appointment I was 162, so I'm 1 pound away from 40 pounds. What are you gonna do? It's fine. But yeah, so that's all that was done at that doctor's appointment. Okay, so that is it for week 39. I cannot believe that I've actually made it this far, and if I make it to 40 weeks, that is just amazing. To be able to have a full 40-week, pregnancy vlog series would be amazing. Obviously, I would love it if you would come sooner than that, but, yeah. I just can't believe I'm 39 weeks. But in any event, that's it for this week. Hopefully you won't see a 40-week vlog, but we'll have to see. I'll definitely keep you guys updated as quickly as I can after the birth, but if you want kind of more speedy updates, you can always check me out on Facebook. I have gotten a fair few requests, new requests on Facebook, so I mean that's absolutely fine. First name Amy, last name Turtle Ames. You can look me up. Just send me a private message letting me know what your YouTube name is so that I can reference and I can know who I'm adding. But other than that, let's go check out the belly. Alright, so let's have a look at week 39 belly. Oh goodness. Some people say that they think that I've dropped. I don't really see it, to be honest. You guys can let me know what you think. I just feel enormous. I feel like I've definitely popped a little bit more from last week to this week, as far as like just out this way. But I don't necessarily feel like I'm any lower. Although I am having like lots of pelvic pain and pressure, so maybe that's because it is lower, I'm not sure. But nonetheless, that is the belly. It's amazing how big your belly can get when you're pregnant. It's just crazy. Anyway, that's it. Still the same stretch marks. Nothing new. Okay, so that is it for week 39. I cannot believe it that this is almost over. Like, and at like max 3 weeks he will be here. So that's really, really crazy. Thank you guys for like following along. I so appreciate all of the comments and all of the messages that are sent. It's really helped me to like get through this, especially when I've been anxious and all that. But I love you guys so much. I really hope that you have a great week, and I may or may not see you again next week for week 40. Wow. All right. Bye for now.